Five, four, three, two, one.
Good morning, family. Welcome to another episode of My Pain Your Gain, hosted by myself, Art Williams. Glad to see you all again. Glad for your support. Grateful that you all are able to tune in once again to My Pain Your Gain. Listen, I have a special guest, my brother from another mother. I would like to introduce everyone to the owner and founder of Never Forget Clothing Brand, one of my realest brothers have ever encountered in my life, brother Alvin Bernard Hards Jr. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? That's how we gonna do it today, huh? All right, that's good.
I had to throw that in there. I
Good,
had to
G.
throw your whole thing, whole name in there. What's good with you, bro?
Nothing much, man. Maintaining, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good, man. We got Juneteenth coming up, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
got some hot sales coming, right?
Yes, sir. Got some good new screens coming up for Juneteenth already flying off the rack, as you would say. Good momentum coming from fashion show I just got through doing. Bring 'em out fashion show was real good a couple of weekends ago. So the brand is getting a lot of good momentum, man. I'm grateful to be here with you today, just to talk to you, man. Just to keep it real. Your pain, my pain, your gain. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, everybody pretty much know that to watch this. Some that won't know, but me and you were real close. We pretty much grew up together. Both of us experienced both of our pain moments. A lot of pain that we went through together. Experiences we experienced together, man. We've been through the muck and the mire. I think I would say that, right?
Right. Been through it. Yes, sir. You can say
So,
that, man. Yeah.
what'd you say, bro?
I say you can say that, man. We've been through our share of things together, man.
Yeah,
As brothers do.
exactly. We had our ups and downs, but we still together, bro. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
grateful that you was able to come on the show, man, just to share some of your pain. So I'm gonna get right to it, man. My first question I want to ask you, basically, what was your childhood like, and what developed this fire in you to never give up and keep fighting attitude?
Man, it's funny that you asked me that, man. With everything that I've been actually encountering with the brand and everything that's coming out, even in life, um, sometimes, man, you go through things and you put them in the back of your mind, man. But I had one of my cousins remind me, man, that ever since the beginning of my existence, I've always had this: I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna quit. Whatever stipulations you put on me, I'm gonna exceed type of spirit, even as a baby, man. Because if you take it back, you say childhood. Man, I was born 3 months early. I was supposed to be born May the 29th. I was born March the 29th.
Mm,
No, so the doctors gave my mother no chance of me coming out of the hospital. But her being the strong woman of God that she was, she just, rocked me back and forth all night reciting the 23rd Psalm. That's why it's like one of my favorite books of the Bible. You know what I mean? So it's like we we go through things, man. My upbringing was true. My mother was a stickler for education, um, a stickler for history. That's where I get the historic part from her, my father. And she was just someone to teach us, say, okay, wherever you step in the room, command attention. And at the same time, be able to stand in any room and hold a conversation with anybody that you're standing in the room with. So that was kind of my upbringing, my childhood. Man, we all had our struggles as we do coming up as young black men and as young black people. Period. We have our issues and our struggles that we go through, but all in all, man, I had a solid foundation and a solid lady to guide me through history, through life, man. Even though she wasn't around that long,
yeah,
her impact still lives decades and decades after she transitioned.
yeah, gotcha. And that, we talked about that a lot. We've talked each other through some stuff, and I want to touch on that just for our audience, man, and just for the family. Um, when you discovered mom, what was that? What was that feeling like, man? When mama wasn't there no more, and you was by yourself, and what gave you that drive? Because a lot of people have multiple excuses about why they can't make it, why they can't survive. without when their parents leave them. But you push through it, man. And when I say leave, she didn't leave you. You see, the Lord took her away. So how did you push through that moment? How did you push through that moment? Because knowing you were the one found her. So what pushed you through that moment?
Man, I say this a lot, man, and people around me, they know it, man. Even my wife knows, dog, that like even in my foundation, bro, I had a good foundation, meaning that I was in church every Sunday. My mother, she reared us the right way. So she always taught us about God. She always taught us about the world that we live in. So for me, man, I always at an early age felt the presence of God, knew, what it was. And even in that, man, just knowing the creator, man, when my mom passed, like before she passed, she was preparing us. She was telling my father that she didn't feel like she was gonna make it through the night. So I went and I prayed. I said, God, you know, I don't know if my mama gonna make it through the night. I want you to let her make it through the night so I can tell her that I love her. And see, here's the thing: people don't understand. My intent the next morning was to get up, tell my mama I love her. I hope she make it through. Bro, when I woke up and I got out there, my mother was gone, eyes open, mouth wide open. Before I touched her body, before I called anybody, before I said anything to anyone, know what I did? I went right back from my knees again and said, God, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna be in our trash can, man. I don't know where we're gonna be in the next month or so. But that lady in there that just transitioned told me that you will take care of us. So I'm depending on you to take care of us. And bro, since that day, I promise you, he has been taking care of your boy ever since that day, December the 14th of 1995.
Mm. Man,
See,
it's evident. Well, go ahead, bro.
man, it's a difference, man, when we can say that we might have an understanding or we believe in a higher being or we believe in the creator or we may have a belief based upon what somebody else has told us, man. But when you know there's nothing that nobody can do, nothing that can shake you, nothing that can really break you, man, because you know for a fact that this person that you asked, this spiritual being, this God that you asked to take care of you since your mother passed has been taking care of you. Nobody can bring my way, man. Hey, it'll knock me down, but it will not break me. I promise you.
Exactly. Exactly. So you fight through that, man. You had to move with your auntie and uncle, with you and your siblings, and uh, we get to high school together because we grew up from middle school on up to now, and that's where we met. And um, in high school, man, you was top of the class, best dressed, A, B honor roll. You pushed your way through there, and you always had a passion for clothing. You always had I think you was close to winning best dress I seen you.
Right.
So you always had that passion for clothing, but you also had a passion to sing in the chorus, so you sung in the chorus, great vocal ability, and you get a scholarship or have partial scholarship to go to BCC. And while at BCC, you made a conscious decision to practice celibacy. Why was that decision made when you went to BCC? What was going through your mind, and what was in your frame of mind during that time?
Man, really with that at that point in time, man, I really was getting into having a real connection with the creator. Really that was about it. I made to keep myself so that my walk with him could be what it needed to be, so it could be deeper. Really wasn't necessarily about bragging rights or being able to say, "Oh, I'm doing this, or I'm doing that." Now, because keep in mind, man, we are good looking dudes, so it wasn't like I wasn't getting tried. It was just I was like, okay, I made this vow, I'm gonna keep this vow, and that's what I do. And by me doing that, man, it really allowed me to consecrate myself, man, and also, you know the creator more. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a lot of stuff in my ear that you would have going to school. You know, and it was a product of where I went to as well. You know, I always question why did I go here, why did I go there, but I understand that every move that I made prepared me for my destiny, prepared me for where I'm at today. So that's and the end result. What it did was not only did it get me closer to God, but it also taught me that I can't be controlled with that.
Right.
You may be able to be controlled with that, but you can't control me with that.
Exactly. So, you know, you go through that. What you was down there at Daytona probably approximately about 2 years or a year and a half or something like that?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. I remember I was on point then. So approximately about 2 years. And man, me and you used to be up and down that road. You know, me, you, and Manny. You know, we come pick you up, man. We roll back, have fun, man. That was great memories with us. And you know, you get back here and you move back home, and you pretty much like don't have nowhere to go, and like it just seemed like your life was kind of doing, you know, ups and downs, and
Hmm.
and you know, you really didn't have nowhere to go, and so you move in with somebody, you move in, and you're there, and then all of a sudden there's a shift, there's a transition, and you move out of there and you move into your place, and then all of a sudden, man, you know, y'all originally started a clothing line and just didn't go pan out, but you never lost that vision, you never lost that dream, and that's what I love about you. You're going to push yourself, you're going to thrive yourself. If it don't work over here, you're going to find a way for it to work over here. So that I think that's what draws us close to each other, because you know, you're a hustler, I'm a hustler, but now we're putting vision to we're putting vision to paper, and also now we seeing it through fruition. So you get married to sis, man. Y'all get married, and then y'all didn't have no kids. Here I am having multiplicity of babies between me and Maddie. But you don't have no kids, and but when you get married, you did one of the greatest things a man could do. You took your stepson in, which he calls you Pop. You know what I'm saying? And what was that moment like? Like, did you love like sis so that much to where you were able to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna take him in, even though his father is present in his life, but now I got to take him in, but I don't have kids myself. How were you able to handle that?
Man, I had a great example in our brother, man, James Sampson, man.
Yeah.
Little do you guys know, man. I look at I look at you guys, man, and I look at different facets of things that we do, good or bad, man, and I learn from it. So that was an example of someone who I know as a brother, with Dalen being able to love a child unconditionally that was not his. You know what I mean? So, man, when you're dealing with these women that already had kids, man, you have to love that child as you love that woman. So it's like you develop a bond with that child outside of that relationship that you have with her. And for me, that became my first son. You know, everything with me all the time. You know what I'm saying? I raised them, um, many relationships, different things that I did because of the fact that it was something that I made a promise to him. Look, I don't care what happens. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna make sure you're all right. I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of, regardless. So, the relationship with him, man, it prepared me for my relationship with my other kids, and
Yeah.
it was a blessing to me, to be able to have that relationship with him, and he not necessarily be see, because man, we tend to say, okay, I love they're my kids, they're my blood, but when they not yours, people do a lot of crazy stuff like man, go talk to his dad. And never have done that, man, because that's my son. You know, that's my firstborn. So, in a relationship that me and his father has is awesome.
It's awesome.
The
Yeah.
fact that you have to be men at the end of the day, man. It takes a village to raise a child. It took a village and a half to raise me and you. So, all what the kids are going through now today, man. We need so many father figures, a multiplicity of them positive influences on their lives, man, because these streets are grabbing them quick, but we got to be able to grab them before they get there. And that's the blessing in, the relationship that I have with my son.
Exactly. And we hear my nephews and my nephews in the background. Well, but I love them boys, man. And you're a great example for anyone to take care of family, man. You're a great example, man, of how you push to make sure your family good, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you, bro, for that, man, and
Appreciate it.
accepted that responsibility, man. Because a lot of men wouldn't do that. A lot of women wouldn't do that. So um, that's kudos to you. Hats off to you. Um, so then one day, man, you called me and you say, bro, I got this vision for Never Forgetting. Of course, y'all see me. I'm rocking it. This was one of the first shirts. I don't know if y'all can see it on screen, but I'm going to move this out the way. This is one of the first shirts that I got from him. And it represented his clothing brand. He had another shirt that was out that I have too. But I'm amazed. I got some shorts that he got. So I'm never forget down. But you called me one day, man, and I think I was probably one of the first guys you called and was like, hey, bro, I got this vision, but Never Forget clothing brand.
Right.
And where, what state of mind were you in when God gave that to you, or when the vision came to you? What frame of mind were you in? What state of mind were you in?
Honestly and truly, because when it came to me, man, I was in a state of emergency, bro. Because here's the thing: when our Creator gave me Never Forget, it was on the cuffs of Trayvon Martin being murdered.
Yep.
Right. So before George Zimmerman ever got acquitted, we kind of knew how the media was portraying Trayvon to be, kind of where it was going to end up going.
Mm-hmm.
But what God told me was, look, there's so many things that we have contributed, and so many things that have happened to us, and so many things that have been done to our people that we forget. We don't talk about it. If it's not in the media, we forget about it. If it's not common gossip, if it's not on the telephone, we forget about it. It's to the back of our mind. Buffalo just happened. How many things have overshadowed that? How much, pardon my vernacular, how much hell are we raising about that? It's not in the media anymore because we gonna forget about it if they don't continue to put it in front of our eyes. This is what Never Forget is about. I want to keep hitting you in the face with the same thing. This is what we've done. This is who we are. And when he gave it to me, I was like, wow, it's an untapped market because people don't want to touch history. I want to touch it all. Because here's the thing. It's true. If we don't know our history, we are doomed to repeat it. And a lot of things that we're going through right now is because people don't know who they are. You gotta ask yourself the question: do you know who you are? Do you know where you come from? Do you know who you are connected to? Because of the truth of the matter be told, without your ancestors, you would not be here. So how do we forget about them? How do we forget our lineage, our heritage? Some of us come from dynasties of kings and queens. We don't even know it. Some of us still have lineages overseas in Jamaica, Bahamas. Even myself have people over there that we've never met that look just like us that could be royalty that we would never know because we've been cut off and disconnected. And they made it that way. Even in slavery, when the mother had their firstborn child, they would kill the father so that child would not have a connection back to Africa, back to their land of heritage. That gives you a connection to who you are. And that's one thing that we need to realize. It's one thing that I want to bring for the forefront too, with this Never Forget clothing brand. Because if we reprogram our minds to remember who we are, I guarantee a lot of things that our kids will be doing as far as giving their bodies away, killing up each other a lot. And even in our adults, if you knew who you were, it would change who you thought yourself to be. A man is shaped by his mind, by the thoughts that he thinks. And a lot of times we go through a lot of things and say, why is this happening? Why is that happening? And that person thought that about themselves. They thought that about that situation. So they went in and they shot up something. They thought that about themselves. So they jumped off a building. Can we reprogram these minds to make you say, okay, I'm royalty. I feel like I'm worth more than that, that I treat myself better and I treat others better. It's about healing the nation.
What to say, bro?
It's about healing the nation.
Yeah, healing the nation. That's it. And bringing light to it, man. And like, you know, there's a lot of clothing out there, but you know, yours have meaning. When those models step out on the floor, you know, every color, every outfit is elite, and it has your fingerprints on it. It has your vision on it. You don't get clothing like, you know, I don't, and I know you'll never lose that because of your passion for it. So I know by, you know, being with you, you know, all the time, that every outfit that anyone asks for, you put your all into it. You don't want them to walk around looking sloppy in it. You know, you want them to look presentable in it. And I think that's what makes your brand totally different from everyone else, because you make it for our culture, but at the same time, it can reach other cultures as well.
Right.
You know, even when I'm in the, you know, in the store or in the mall or Nocatee somewhere, you know, if they see my shirt, you know, a lot of them will look on the back of the shirt and say, man, you know, I sent you numbers and all, you know, because it's catching like wildfire. So I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of where you are, what you're doing with your brand. And I want to publicly thank you because you were one of my friends that stuck with me through thick and thin, but also I could call on when I was struggling with the issues I was struggling with. And that's what gave me the vision of My Pain Your Gain. You were one of those accountability brothers that stepped in that I could call it late at night and say, hey man, I need your help. I need you to pray with me. I need you to talk to me. Because, you know, in that season that I was in, I needed that, man. And even now, man, even in this season, man, you're still right there. And it's you can't find friends like that, brothers like that. Like we actually look at each other as brothers, and I love you for that. It was one season I wanted to really talk about, and I'm gonna let you go because I know we got to get off this thing. But there's one season both of us went through together, and I'm not gonna talk about it much because I don't want to. Both of us be sitting up here crying. But there was one season we went through. We lost a best friend, and you and Brett had your relationship, and I had mine with him also. But I remember that season, man. You know, both of us, you know, were angry. We were upset. We were mad. You know, asking the question, you know, God, why? God, why this? What got you through that period in your life? Because I know that was a real tough season for both of us, and we've talked about it, but there's some other people out there, young people that may listen to this, and through our anger, how we dealt with it, and what got us to this point. Because really, his life, man, if we see everybody around us now, you know, doing good for themselves, doing good for their families, either entrepreneurship or being positive in the community. His life saved a lot of lives. So, what did that do to you when it originally happened?
Man, Brett was one of my best friends in the world, man. When I got the news, just being acquainted with death, man, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, you know, it shook us. But what it did for us is it reminded us of what he would have wanted us to do. You know what I mean? Like, and it's eerie because I don't know if you remember, we had that conversation prior to him passing. You know, we thought somebody who went to school with us had passed, and he was like, bro, I don't know what I do without one of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to go first. I can't, one of y'all can't go before me. And then it happens.
That was the infamous conversation.
So it's like, man, it's like you gotta uphold that legacy, man. You gotta continue to smile because Brett would have been smiling through a lot of the stuff. He smiled through a lot of his pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he turned it into a game because his life, man, his legacy that he left behind in just a short amount of time that he was with us speaks just like my mother's life, generations and generations after you gone. You know what I mean? We're in 2022. He passed in 2004.
Boy.
I mean, and his life still impacts his nephews that he's never met, his cousins that he's never met. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of impact that he has, and you got to be a positive person. You got to be somebody, regardless of what anybody says about you, that's gonna live that life and shine that brightness, regardless, to even leave that kind of impact behind. You know what I mean? Because people can live to be 75 years old and do not leave the impact that that man left. It touched us all. It brought us all together closer, man, and it all taught us that any day, man, it could be over. We lost people since then, and it just it's a reality that as long as we keep getting up, laying down, it's gonna happen.
Exactly. Well, bro, we got a part 2, and that part 2 is gonna be in the studio. And
Yes,
I
sir.
thank you for joining, man. I thank you for coming on my Paying Your Game and showing your support, man. Of course, you know, me and you gonna ride to the end. But again, I want to thank you publicly, man, for everything that you've done for me, man, in my life. I don't know, bro. Without you, man, and some other our brothers, man, I would have been jacked up, man. But I thank you, man.
Man, tell that story, man. We always have been here for you, man. We gonna always hold you accountable, you know, because man, real brothers want the best for each other, man. We want to see each other do good. We want to see each other help people outside of us. So, in order to do that, we got to encourage each other. A lot of reasons why we are not as strong of a force as we should be as a people is because everybody wants a spotlight. Nobody wanna be the one that cleaning up the stage, making the stage look good to make sure that when you get that spotlight, you shine bright. You know what I mean? So we gotta know our role. We gotta encourage each other. We gotta continue to boost each other up because it's a cold world outside of these roads.
Yeah.
So man, you know, I'm always gonna do that. I'm always gonna be here for you, man, and everybody connected with us. And the podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, bro, thank you, man. Love you. Go do what you got to do, bro. We'll get you on, man, next for part 2, man. I can't wait for part 2. Part
Coming
1,
in the studio part 2, we gonna do it big.
we'll do it big, then. All right, man. Hey, thank you everyone for joining my Paying Your Game with the real keeps it real. Talking with my brother from another mother, owner, CEO, president, all that. Never Forget Clothing brand. Listen, if you want to check him out, his Facebook page is available. Alvin Hodge. Alvin Hodge is his Facebook page. Never Forget Clothing, man. Brother, give me your website.
Website is neverforgetclothinginc.com. Again, that's www.neverforgetclothinginc.com.
Thank you, bro. I'll see you a little bit later. But love you, boy.
All right, man.
And hey, to my Paying Your Game broadcast episode, man, number 4. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you and have a blessed week.